yeah,
Yeah.
run trading, and they try to go back and try their best, to get that money back. And really, when you're
When
trading,
you're in that mindset,
yeah, when you're
you
that
end up
mindset.
losing more.
Oh yeah, happened to me in Las Vegas, by the way. Did some slot machines, and I lost, a couple $100, and my wife says, let's go, it's enough, and I had to go back to that machine and try to get my money back. And what do you know? I lost more. It's
You
just
know, if we didn't have that revenge mindset in our minds, casinos wouldn't make any money. That's how they make their money. And
yeah,
as a trader, you really have to eliminate that revenge aspect. Otherwise, the market's just going to empty your pockets.
exactly, exactly. So yeah, as a trader, like your time, 8:30 is the market open, right? Over here at 6:30, so it's really hard to wake up that early.
Right, you have a real
Um,
early day.
yeah, as a trader, like you never want to trade without being in the zone. What do you do before you start your day? Exercise or whatever?
You know what? I try to exercise for just briefly, 10, 15 minutes, just kind of wake me up. I always make sure that I, take a shower, have something to eat, watch the news. I kind of go through, my normal morning routine. And I make sure that I'm here, trading is a profession where I could just roll out of bed at 8:29 and sit here in my boxers and, trade away. But I really wouldn't be in the right mindset at that point. So I make sure that I always, I have a healthy breakfast. I take a shower, make sure I'm, fully dressed and ready for the day.
Yeah, I agree. And I guess you would say weird, but I just listen to music because that's what really gets my day going.
Right.
Listen to my favorite music that makes me be in that zone. So for those of you guys who are out there and are curious what we do before we trade, just basic stuff. You take a shower, like Brendan said. Eat something. You got to feed your brain. And do some exercise, listen to some music you like or something like that. Yeah, like what Brenda said, you don't. If the market opens at 6:30 here in California, you don't want to wake up at 6:20 and be in front of your computer at 6:29. Get yourself ready before the market opens. You have to find out what's going on first before placing the very first trade. Okay, so what would you say are the top skills needed to be a successful trader?
You really have to have discipline. I think discipline is key. Above all else, no matter what method you have, if you don't execute that method properly, what good is it to have it? So if you really have a lot of self-discipline to make yourself trade, your method every single day. And I mean, really what sets us apart from gamblers as traders is we have, that risk to reward ratio on our side. And if we're not following our plan, then we're just really gambling in the market. So having the discipline to actually follow your trading plan and make sure you stick with it every single day is a really, necessary and required skill if you want to survive.
Yeah, yep, that's a good answer. And yeah, that's right. Calculated risk. Traders, I guess we have, some kind of like an aversion to gambling. Gambling, they say the house always wins, and we like calculated risk where we can apply our, knowledge and skill. We don't just want to go in front of our computer and start trading whatever stocks. Like you're right. Calculate your risk to reward. In my case, I'm pretty sure your case too, that you already know how much loss you're going to be willing to take before you even enter that first trade. And
Exactly.
you also know where your profit target is.
Exactly.
So, yeah, and I guess the discipline kicks in when one of those things have been reached. If you got your profit, then get out. Some people, they're so greedy that they want the stock to go up more. And some people they like to, they're doing it the other way around where they cut their winners short and they ride their losers. Discipline, it's very easy for us to say, but really it's very, very hard to have. I guess it takes practice. Like we talked about earlier, you have to have that experience first. When as you're gaining that experience, patience, discipline, they're all going to be included in that. So, yeah, what is the one skill that is most important for a trader?
Having the right mindset, I think, is really, the one skill that you have to master. You have to know how your mind works. You have to know how to take control of your subconscious and, really make sure that, whatever, as I sit down and trade every day, I have positions that, reach my profit target, and it's like, why not let it keep going? Why not let it ride up? You have to really have that control to, we all want money. We're all greedy at times. So we have to control our minds in a way that we override some of our most, humanistic traits. I mean, as humans, we all want to be successful. We all want to make money. But as traders, we have to make sure we really, focus on the aspects that are important to our trading and kind of override some of those, natural things that occur in our mind.
Yeah. Okay. So it is the mindset, right?
I think so. Yes.
Yeah. How do you have the right mindset?
You really have to be.
Okay. Go ahead.
There's a million different ways, you can trade. There's a million different mindsets you can have, but there's one thing you really need to make sure you focus on, and that's having a profitable mindset. You need to be positive about every single trade. One thing my mentor taught me was that, whether you have a winning trade or a losing trade, as long as you follow your method, that's a positive outcome. The only negative outcome you can have in your trading is if you deviate from your trading plan. So, even if I have a trade where I make $5,000, if I didn't follow my trading plan, that should be viewed as a losing trade to me.
Exactly.
If I have a trade where I follow my plan and I lose $1,000, that's a positive trade. I followed my plan, I did what I should have done, and, I know that my plan works more times than not, so the next trade will likely be a winner,
Yeah.
So you really have to have that right mindset and, view things positive and negative where they should be. I mean, positive doesn't just mean you made money, negative doesn't mean you lost money.
True. So, when did you know that this is it? It's very hard in trading, to tell that this is it. I'm on my way to making $1,000 a day, because when I was starting, excuse me, I really made money the first 3 months, and then my fourth and for the rest of the month that year, I pretty much got burned and lost everything. So the first 3 months I was making money, I was like, man, this is it. Just to find out in the next, few months after that, I was going to lose it all. How did you know that this is it?
Well, that's what happened to me also. My first, 2 or 3 months, I did really well. And after that, I was doing horrible to the point where I almost blew my account out. And I kind of just had the, do or die moment where it was like, I'm either going to sit here and I'm going to learn how to trade, or that's it. It's back to the normal 9 to 5 for me. I'm going to have a boss. I'm going to, go back to that daily grind that I hated. So I think for a lot of traders, actually, it just comes down to that one moment where it's like, you're either going to sit here and you're going to trade successfully, or you're not going to trade at all. So that's kind of when I started to, really become profitable. I started to really learn how the markets worked, and from there it was just, I just knew that it was the right profession for me.
Got it. So, are there any written materials you suggest to our viewers? Blogs or anything?
Sure. There's tons of, great trading blogs out there. I have a list on my website of suggested, blogs and websites that, I frequently visit. As far as books go, I think that the one book that really influenced my trading the most was Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. That's really an excellent. Have you read it? I'm not sure. Have you?
I did have a glance at it. I
didn't
read the whole thing yet. I have one favorite too.
Okay, go ahead.
Reminiscence of a Stock Operator, one of my favorite books. It's more on the psychological side, I guess. Nothing too much technical in that book. But you know what? I will put a link on the blog here of that book, and I'll also put a link on of course, to your website. So they can go ahead and look at your book list and whatnot. So so blogs, books, and everything, they can see, they can find the list on your website, right?
Right. And actually, another thing that I used to do when I was new to trading is I'd watch pretty much as many YouTube videos as I could.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Yeah, and one thing that was really important to me was watching traders that were actually making live trading videos.
Yeah.
It's like, they're not just sitting here when the market's closed and, explaining what they think will happen, or, they're actually showing us, how they think when they trade. And that's not only teaching us technical analysis, but that's showing us, their mindset as traders. And there's a lot to learn from that.